Hello and welcome to The Discriminating Gamer, the board game review show that would like to announce a very special contest. The first person who can correctly tell us what Sean Zabrunen's favorite food is by the end of the video will win a very special prize. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the ultimate episode of Cody's top 100 games of all time as of March 2021. Today we're looking at my and Zach's top 10 games of all time. So Zach and I are just about ready to begin, so sit back, get that popcorn, and enjoy our final video. Yeah. All right, ladies and gentlemen, so we're going to jump right into it. Before I do, I just want to say a couple of things. First of all, these last few videos that we have been shooting here for our top 100 list, we have been shooting here at Mythos Games in beautiful South Jordan, Utah. We want to give a shout out to Mythos Games. Tell them thank you very much for making the space available for us. You want to get a great game? Check out Mythos Games. Also, too, one thing just I want to say about my top 10 list is, now, I have not done a top 100 list in about 6 years, 5 or 6 years, but I have done top 10 lists. I didn't do it, I think, the last year or two, but I have done top 10 lists. And I did top 10 lists. There is some change, but a lot of games on here are not going to come as a surprise to a lot of people, at least in my case. So I'm really excited to hear what Zach's top 10s are of all time. But I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to get started. Now, Zach's number 11 in the last video was Secret Hitler, which is my number 10 in my top 10 list. So Secret Hitler, again, I don't recall the company that makes it, but Secret Hitler is a tremendously fun game of social deduction game, of hidden traitors, and one of the best social deduction games I've ever played. There's one that's better, that I like better, but it's a really, really good game. I'm not going to go too much more into it because we've already talked about it. Anything you want to add real quick?
No, just as Secret Traders go, you don't get much better.
All right. Go ahead, Zach. What is your number 10?
Remember in the last list we had the same 14?
Yeah.
What we're about to do now is almost better than that.
Okay.
Your 11 is my number 10.
No!
Yes. Legendary Alien Encounters.
Legendary Encounters
is my number 10.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of doing the same thing you're doing. Aliens is kind of going to be my Encounters game.
Right.
I love the Encounters because it's so much different than regular Legendary. But Alien Encounters, scary, hard, fun.
You played Alien, Predator, and Firefly, as I recall.
Of the Encounters, yeah, I have Predator. You gave me Predator.
I gave you Predator,
yeah.
And I remember because I think I've only played Firefly once or twice, and I'm pretty sure it was with you.
Firefly is fun.
But you haven't played X-Files, have you?
No, I haven't played X-Files.
We'll have to play X-Files sometime.
I love the Legendary games.
Because the HQ cards on the bottom, you got to flip them over too.
Oh,
they don't
really?
come out face up. Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, but tell me, what? I mean, I assume we were going to cover a lot of the ground we did with mine.
Yeah.
But just in a nutshell, what do you love about it?
Again, terrifying, hard, very difficult. Puts you into a specific scene in the movie.
Yeah.
And Aliens. That's my favorite. That's my favorite James Cameron movie of all time.
It's a great.
I
Yeah, it might be mine too.
One of my 20 favorite movies of all time, maybe. And it's so good. Anyway,
I was going to say one thing we didn't discuss last time, or mention last time, that I think is very important to Legendary Encounters is it's such a good cooperative game because you've got those coordinate cards. You can actually lend people stuff during their turn, so it's a solid cooperative game.
Yeah.
I really think that. Okay, so that is Legendary Encounters, an alien deck building game from Upper Deck. That was your number 10. What's your number 9?
My number 9 is Captain Sonar.
Captain Sonar.
It's the best, or one of the best group games that you're ever going to play, and it's what is so fun and unique about it is the real-time play. Is how you got the 4 people, you're looking at each other, and the objective is simple. You're trying to seek each other's stuff. It's Battleship on steroids, but it is
it's like a team battleship.
It's team battleship. I love playing the engineer.
Yeah, I know, that's your favorite. That's the first one you played.
That's the first one I played.
And
I love playing radio, and I think I'm actually good at the radio, but the captain never listens to me when I play radio. So it takes me out, so I don't play radio. Even though I always find the sub, the captain never listens to me. But I love playing the engineer because you're just trying to make the best out of a crappy situation. Captain is hard, but you get the biggest bummer of that game is you need to get 8 people the
Yeah,
game. I mean, you gotta get.
But you know, fortunately, it's not that long, and you can play like at least 3 or 4 games easy in a night. You know,
I remember the one time we played it. You just to be safe, you got like you asked like 11 or 12 people, and we ended up with 10, which is no big deal because since they're such short games, you just rotate out.
Rotate 'em.
You rotate out of that. You can play 5 games in an hour. I mean,
it's amazing.
I
just still remember that first game we played, and we were all just walking around like.
I didn't know games could do this.
I know.
Yeah,
I didn't know board games could do it. Yeah.
That was possible.
Yeah, we just had. It was like, I think it was 1999, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
This guy and I walked into a movie we didn't really have that much interest in seeing. We're like, oh, we'll just kill an afternoon, and we walked out of that movie with our jaws on the floor. Like that was like one of the greatest films we've ever seen in our life. Mm-hmm. Zach, do you remember what that film was?
That movie was Fight Club.
Fight Club. We love Fight Club.
Yeah.
And it just blew us away. And that same feeling I got
Yeah,
from
no,
seeing
that's
that
a
movie
good
is
analogy.
what we got after we played Captain Sonar.
Yeah.
And they're both about fighting.
Yeah.
All right, so that was your number 9?
That was my number 9.
Okay, so that's my number 9. This is a game you have played at
Yeah.
least once, maybe more, but we had a ball with this game. This is 1775 Rebellion.
Oh,
Remember we played this
yeah.
with Mike and
That
Sean?
was
And we were
fun.
on a team.
Yeah.
I think we won once, and we played it a couple times, and we won once, and they won once.
I remember that. That was fun.
And because that second time we were just about to win, and they played some card that kind of screwed us over, and we lost the game. But I love it because it's the American Revolution. This is another good area control game, but it's like a light war game. In fact, I think it was Joel Eddy called this the Ticket to Ride of war games because it's a really accessible, easy war game, but it's fun and it's mean. You got cards that do mean things.
Yeah.
It is really a lot of fun. 1775 Rebellion is Academy. Well, you enjoyed this game.
Yeah, I remember it. Now that you bring it up, I do remember it.
Yeah, great game. So, okay, so that's my 9. Number 8
Yeah.
is, this is another game you played that I think you like. This is Friedrich from released here Rio Grande Games. But it's the 7 Years' War. You've got Frederick the Great versus all of the enemies, the French, the Austrians, the Russians, and you're fighting all these guys. But you're keeping track of your armies like on a piece of paper, and then when you meet, you get a hand of cards. But they're playing cards, they're like suits of playing cards, and you have to play suits that match the territory you are in order to. So like I play so many numbers I've got, and you play so many numbers, and it's one of those games of do I play it now and try to win, or do I maybe hedge my bets and fall back so I got cards to defend myself in some other place later? Frederick is fighting all these guys, but they're not working together. They're each trying to win on their own. And Frederick has got so Frederick's trying to fight all over his empire, but it's really strategic how you move your armies. And you have to have supply wagons that go along with them. And I could go on and on about this game, but then also the events come up, and I really loved it. And you enjoyed this one, as I recall.
Oh, I did. I do remember that one now.
Yeah.
I'm being reminded of games that
you
I
haven't
played
played.
once a while ago.
Okay, so that's my number 8. That's Frederick from Rio Grande Games. What is your number 8?
My number 8 is Zombicide.
Zombicide. Now, we talked earlier about my Zombicide Black Plague, which is represented as Zombicide. And what do you love about Zombicide?
Well,
from
again,
Simon, or Come On, or whatever.
Again, cooperative game. Pure cooperative game. And the game throws so much garbage at you. And so many horrible things at you. But and we've talked about cooperative games, but this one felt like more than any other cooperative game, you got to work together more.
Yeah.
Where in a lot of cooperative games, it's like you have the same objective, but you're doing your own thing, you're doing this thing, you're doing this thing. Zombicide forces you to work together, to share things, to do things you don't necessarily want to do, but it's going to help this guy and it's the greater good. That's my take on Zombicide. One of the reasons I liked it so much.
You make a good point. Any good cooperative game has to have to really get me, has to have a level of negotiation.
Yeah.
Okay, I want you to do this, but I don't want to do that. Yeah, but it's going to help us. And Zombicide does that very well.
Does it very well.
It's a really simple game. It's a really simple game, but it's still it's just fun. It feels like you're in a monster movie, and you feel like you're in a zombie film, and it's just fun.
Yeah, a lot of fun.
I think we were playing one of the first times we played it, and Sean called it like a zombie apocalypse simulator.
That's right.
It's a great game.
Now that's a good game.
All right, so that is your number 8.
That's my number 8.
Okay, and what is your number 7? That's Zombicide from Simon. Come on, whatever. Go ahead.
They're going to make fun of me for this one.
I always they always make fun of you.
Yeah, I know. Star Trek Catan. As my number 7 game.
Okay.
This is my number 7 game.
Okay. I like it. It didn't make my top 100, but I like it.
But again, and as I said this early on, a lot of the games for me, especially once I get to my top 10, it doesn't have necessarily to do with the quality of the game as it does the experiences surrounding this game.
Right. Well, it's a combination of both, I would think.
Yeah. But for me, that's even maybe more weights more for me.
Okay.
Yeah, and this is a game. This is one of the few games that has multiple actions that you take that my wife will actually play, and she loves this game.
And you know what? Finding people to play these games you like with is an important part of gaming. So
Settlers of Catan, people play. There's so many versions, and I think this is the superior version of it because you get the cards and you get the things, and this Spock does this and Bones does this and all that. And it's a game that my family has just had a lot of fun playing. And I rarely win, but I have a lot of fun.
I introduced you to this one.
Yes, you did.
I remember I played this one with you first of all.
Cody, I don't think there's a game I have in my closet that I probably played more.
Really?
Because my family loves it, my wife loves it. It's like her favorite game.
It's a good game. I mean, Catan's a good game, and I agree. I think of the versions of Catan, that is my favorite. I always wanted to play the Game of Thrones version. I never played that, but I heard that was pretty good. But yeah, Star Trek Catan is my favorite way to play Catan too. I'd have to admit. All right, that's your number 7?
It's my number 7.
Okay, it's me then. Mm-hmm. My number 7, and this is one you'll probably be upset that isn't higher on my list.
Yeah.
This is actually the first time it's actually broke my top 10, though. Before, I'd had it like in around, it was usually right around 11, 12 or something like that. Mm-hmm. But I played this again not long ago with you, and I'm thinking, I really love this game, so that's why it's moved up here several spaces. This is the incomparable Twilight Struggle from GMT Games. Twilight Struggle is just a phenomenal game. It's a game of tough decisions, making the best of tough decisions. Yeah. No other game I've ever played, I think, forces you so consistently to make the best of bad decisions. And this one does, and it's so much fun.
The greatest two-player game.
You think so, huh?
Ever made.
He loves this game, friends. It is. It's a fantastic. I'm sure we'll see it coming up later.
Yeah, I won't talk too much now, except for it's perfect game.
And I would recommend anybody check out our replay, which we posted just about a month or two ago, where we kind of take about 20 minutes. We just talk about this game, so check that out. If that looks like something you want. So that is Twilight Struggle. That is from GMT Games. My number 6 is another IP game a two-player game that blows me away. It's a two-player game, so I put this just above Twilight Struggle. In fact, when I did my favorite two-player games, I was debating this literally until right before I filmed it. In fact, I started filming one and changed my mind and went back and reshot it.
I think I know what's coming.
What is it?
Rebellion.
Star Wars Rebellion from Fantasy Flight Games. I love the IP. I love the gameplay here. I love everything about this game. So it immerses you in Star Wars so well, but it creates your own Star Wars stories so well.
It's such a good game.
And it's asymmetrical, right? The Empire, they're trying to find the Rebels. The Rebels are trying to stay hidden. And so there's a bluff. There's this. The whole game is like one big bluff and double bluff within all this other stuff going on.
I like playing the Empire because I like trying to find that planet.
Have you ever played the Rebels?
I've never played the Rebels.
Well, actually, the last time we played, which was, I was up here in, I think, the summer of 19, I said, the next time we play, you've got to be the Rebels. And so that's another one we got to play here sooner rather than later.
It's a game of games that I haven't purchased that I need to, but I need to. That is a high one on my list.
And it needs to be said, too, if you get the game, get the expansion too, because the expansion fixes the combat. The combat in it wasn't.
You're right.
And I got to be blunt. Yeah. Even with the expansion, the combat is not amazing, but it's a lot better than it was.
But it's really, that's when you play a game. That's one of the last things you even think about is the combat. I mean,
well, you're kind of just expecting it to be decent.
Yeah.
But a great game. Great game. That is Star Wars Rebellion. That is from Fantasy Flight Games. That is my number 6. Your number 6.
Okay, this is a game that I pulled out and played about a month ago. I hadn't played forever. And it's probably a little higher on my list than it should be, but it's on my list because I have made a huge investment in this game.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Okay.
And playing it again just reminded me of how much I just love this game.
Yeah.
And even though there are problems with it now and all these crap that's going along with it, X-Wing miniatures.
Star Wars X-Wing miniatures.
Star Wars
First
X-Wing
edition.
Miniature. First edition. I'm not gonna start over.
Right.
And go to the second edition.
I don't blame you.
They've done so much crap with this thing, but I mean, that's what my kids were getting me for Christmas, and I pulled it out. I got 4 of those Plano boxes full of the thing,
Yeah.
and I'm pulling it all out. And I haven't played it for a while, and it's a lot. It's one of those games where you can actually kind of figure out your own simple version of it.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and maybe there might be 1 or 2 things. I mean, I think we played it straight, but it was as we were measuring things out, and I was playing with my son, and we were moving everything around. I just love that game.
I remember when I introduced that to you, and I was introduced it to you and Sean, and you guys were like, I mean, when I put it out, they're like, I don't get it.
No.
There's no board.
No,
There's no.
you have no idea. You're looking at this, and you have no idea
They've
what
never
this
played a
thing is.
miniatures game before.
No,
so-
never had.
And it just became. I mean, it's just a brilliant game. It's so much fun. Like I say, Armada is so much better for me. I think.
Yeah, no, and I totally get that. But when I ever going to play that, pull that out, and I'll play it with my son some more, and I'll play it with my grandkids eventually, years down the line.
And
such
even
a great game.
beyond the game, this is true of both X-Wing and Armada. The minis are just beautiful. They're just fun. They're toys. It's a toy box.
No, that's what it is. But you're not just playing with toys. You're playing a game.
Right.
So it's okay.
All right, so that is number
That was my 6. Yeah.
Okay, so that is X-Wing from X-Wing Miniatures Fantasy Flight Games. What is your number 5?
My number 5 is another Star Wars game.
What?
Star Wars Rebellion.
Yeah,
That's my 5.
I
What
knew
was it 6 on yours?
Yeah, I knew I
Yeah.
knew that'd be really close with both of us. We both love that game.
In my opinion, the second greatest 2-player game of all time, and it's close. And you're right, it's close. But I give the edge to another game. Well, we were talking about Twilight Struggle, but everything you said about Rebellion, Rebellion is such. And that's what I put it as 5. Yeah, that starts my 5.
I actually was.
That's
I
top 5.
talked a few years ago. I talked to Jason Matthews, who designed Twilight Struggle,
Yeah.
and I said something. Hey, you need to adapt Twilight Struggle to the Star Wars universe, and he's like, "Dude, they already did the killer job with Rebellion." I mean, even he was kind of said what a great game Rebellion was.
No, Rebellion is just it's a masterpiece.
It is.
So good.
As what's his name? Michael Fassbender said, "Perfection." All right, so that's Star Wars Rebellion Fantasy Flight Games.
So we're in the 5s now. So that was my first
There's
5.
5.
Now you're doing 5.
Mine is Fury of Dracula. Fury of Dracula, which was Fantasy Flight Games, now it's WizKids publishes it. But Fury of Dracula is a fantastic game that is, it's a 5-player game, 4 against 1. You can play at a lower player counts than I have, and it's okay. But I really like 4-on-1 because again, I like the negotiation that the hunters have to do. But you're hunting Dracula all over Europe. You're trying to find him, but when you find him, and he sometimes ambushes you, you actually have these battles, and they're so much fun. It's like a rock paper scissors thing, but with cards. It's a bluff, a double bluff. You don't know what the other guy's going to play, and it's so much fun. I love this game. I freak out every time I play it. I absolutely love Fury of Dracula. You like Fury? You just played it one time, right?
I played it one time. I like it. It's I mean, it didn't crack my top 40, but it was fun. I'd like to play it more and kind of understand and get into it more. But the hidden movement aspect of it is really cool.
Man.
The hidden movement is really cool.
It's cool and everything about it. For me, that part's fun, but it's the combat that sells it. You know,
Yeah.
I love the combat in this game, and I love playing both as Dracula and a hunter. I probably gun to my head, I probably prefer playing the hunter, but I like playing Dracula
Yeah.
as well. Fun game. That is number 5, Fury of Dracula from WizKids. My number 4. I'm not going to get into it too much. It isn't my number 4, right?
Yeah, you turn for it.
I'm not going to get into it too much because we've already discussed it, and we are running low on time here. They're going to close the store here, so we got to get going.
Yeah.
But Captain Sonar, we already talked about it for all the reasons we said. We got a playthrough on our channel. We played a few things wrong because it was like one of our first games.
Yeah.
But check that out if you want to see it, and it is
That's
so
your 4?
much fun.
I respect that at 4. It's good enough to be in my top. Might be my 4 too. It's that good of a game.
What number was it for you?
That was 10 for. No, it was 9. It was in my
9.
top 10. It was 9.
Yeah, great game.
Yeah.
Okay, you're number 4.
My number 4 is one you've already talked about, Legendary Marvel.
Legendary Marvel. Now, why do you put Marvel ahead of? Because I go back and forth, but I'm asking why do you put Marvel? Why do you put Marvel so far ahead of Encounters, and why is it so far ahead of Encounters?
It is quite a bit ahead of Encounters. I love the Encounters, mechanic, and I like all that, but it's that game. And I like the other ones. I have Buffy, the Vampire Slayer. We played some of the other ones. But that Marvel, and I've gotten all the box sets, and I used to love basketball cards when I was a kid, and I've organized the cards, and so I get to be a kid again with it. But it's just that's the deck builder. That's
good stuff.
That's the deck builder to end all deck builders. And there's so much with the movies and now the series and everything coming up. There's so much they can add to it, and it all plays together. That's what's great. The expansions melt together so perfect.
And you can mix and match.
Just one giant game. I just got them all in one pot, you know?
Yeah,
It is just one of the greatest games. I love it so much.
There's rumors, of course, Upper Deck's making kind of a permanent storage solution.
They need to.
God, they need it, man.
Yeah, they need to really bad.
All right, so that is Legendary, a deck building game from Upper Deck, and that is near number 4. Okay, what's your 3?
Okay, 2 and 3. I'm at the point where I actually have to pick between my 2 and 3.
All right.
And so for my 3, I think I got my
tiebreaker. I think I know what your top 2 are.
Yeah, I know you do. For my 3, I think I figured out my tie. This is hard to put it at 3, but I have to. My number 3 is Betrayal in the House on Haunted Hill.
Betrayal in the House on Haunted Hill? Really?
It's my number 3. And the reason that's my...
I thought it was going to be 1. I know you love that game.
No, I'm not doubting myself. You'll see why. When I get to 2 and 1, you'll see why it's 3. Right. You'll see why it's 3. Betrayal on the House on Haunted Hill. We're playing the Legacy right now.
We just started it.
We just started the first 2 chapters, and it's awesome. And I just love the cooperative. Then there's the Hidden Traitor, and I got the Widow's Walk expansion. I got the Scooby Doo. I mean, it's just the way you play it, the way you build the house, the scenarios. Every game is a different game. Every game is completely different. You don't know what is going to happen. You play most of these games you play before. You know what's going to happen in the game. You're just trying to get better at it. That game, you know what's going to happen every time you play.
It's a what do you call it? It feels like a different B movie.
Yeah.
Every time. And I like this game too. It's a little higher up. I mean, one of my criticisms of the game is, and we saw this the other day with the Legacy thing, but it seems like every game you play, there's always that moment where you're like, there's some rule that's wonky or something.
Yeah.
That happens a lot, and that's why it's not higher for me.
And I can totally understand
but
that.
I like the game a lot.
I love the game so much I can look past it.
Okay.
That game is...
All right. So
honestly, it's a 3-way tie for 1 for me.
That's your number 3, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right, so that's Betrayal on the House of the Hill by Avalon Hill.
Yeah.
My number 3 is, surprise, surprise, Battlestar Galactica, the board game. Fantastic game, Hidden Traitor game. Mm-hmm. Now, if you love the Battlestar Galactica TV show, you'll love the game because I've said this before, I'll say it again, no other game, IP game I've ever played better captures the IP than this game. Star Wars Rebellion is a close second, but no game does it as well as this because that feeling of paranoia on the TV show is here in abundance. And you're always scared to death. You don't know what's going to happen with that Secret Traitor. Scary game, and it's so much fun.
Yeah.
You play this game, and there's always some new treachery that happens, some new way that somebody comes up to screw you that you're always laughing about, and that's a game. You're always laughing in this
That's
game.
The thing is, there is no game that I played that has, that I talk about more, about the stories, of the game than that game, the Battlestar Galactica. It's awesome.
We talked about this a lot. We're trying to rush through this because we don't have a lot of time, but Battlestar Galactica is absolutely fantastic. Check it out. If you can get a hold of it, it's out of print right now.
The best Hidden Traitor game ever.
Rumor that they're doing a Cthulhu version of it. I'll wait. I'm open-minded. I'll wait and see what it looks like.
The mechanic's so good, I'll play it. Yeah.
Okay, and New Angeles is kind of like it, but we played New Angeles. It's been a while, but we like New Angeles. It's higher up on my list. All right, so that's my number 3. My number 2 is Twilight Imperium 4th Edition. Now, we brought this up a few times. We talked about Zac a few times ago when Zac talked about Twilight Imperium at 27 or
24.
But I love it. I love it because it's a game there's so much going on. You got trade, you got politics, you got war, you've got science, you've got all these different things, exploration, all these different things that factor into it to make it so much fun. Now, I haven't played it with the expansion yet.
Yeah.
I want to. As soon as I can, I'm going to get the expansion because I really want to try it with that. We'll have to play it when I get the expansion. But I love this game. It's so for years.
That's your favorite.
For years, Twilight Imperium 3rd Edition was my number 1 game of all time, and 4th Edition I think blows 3rd Edition out of the water. But I just love it so much. All right, so that's my number 2. So now let's go ahead and you got your number 2.
Really, it was a tie for 2, but I had to put 1 and 3 and 1 and 2, and so I put it to Battlestar Galactica.
Battlestar Galactica.
And the reason I gave you the edge over Betrayal is because of the stories and the experiences and how we talk about it and how some of those games have played out. The greatest IP game, the greatest Hidden Traitor game. We talked about it. We don't talk about it anymore. But it was, I mean, it was hard to pick my children on this one, but I put it number 2.
We did another replay where Zach and I, we talked about this game for about 20 minutes. It's a video we did just a couple of months ago.
Yeah.
Check that out if you want our full ideas on this game. Yeah, I think you'll enjoy that video.
You can't go wrong with this game. It is an amazing game.
Yeah. All right, so your number 1.
My number 1. My number 1 game is what I consider to be, what is it, Cody? You know what it is. It's the best 2-player game of all time.
Twilight Struggle.
Twilight Struggle, I think, is if the closest you can get to a perfect game. It's Twilight Struggle.
It is. Again, we did we've already talked about it with mine, and of course we've got the what do you call it? The replay we did. You can watch that 20-minute talk we have about it. But I agree. Wonderful game, wonderful 2-player game, and I love it very much.
I played it again with my brother the other day, and he's been playing it on the app, and he killed me. So I got to get the app now so I can get better at playing. But no, that's my number 1, Cody.
And I got to be honest. I thought it was going to come down between Twilight, Imperium, and Betrayal. I thought those were.
It was neck and neck. Twilight was always going to be my number 1, but I mean Again, just the experiences around Battlestar were a little better than the experiences I've had around Betrayal. So I had to give it. But really, it was a 3-way tie for first.
I can see that. And I got to tell you, I'm on board with you with Twilight Struggle. I'm on board with you with Battlestar. I like Betrayal. It's just not nearly as high for me.
You know what? And I understand. Well, hey, I put your number 2 way down the list. That's only fair. Now, Twilight Imperium, I thought was going to be your number 1.
No. It was my number 1 for years and years and years and years. But now, and Twilight Struggle, GMT Games, his number 1. My number 1
is a game I just realized I forgot to put on my top 40.
I was going to say, I was surprised I didn't see it in your top 40. I was really surprised it wasn't on.
Can I put it down as can I replace my 40, which was Axis and Allies, with your number 1.
If you want to.
I completely forgot.
If you want to. This is War Room from Nightingale Games. Now, this came out about a year ago, Christmas. I played it in Texas with some friends. I was able to play it 4 or 5 times in Texas with friends. Blew me away. I've been able to play it a couple of times up here. Zach, you just played it the one time, right?
Yeah, I only played it once.
This is Axis and Allies on steroids. This is the game Axis and Allies was always supposed to be. This is what's cool about it is it's like you take diplomacy and you take Axis and Allies and you mesh them together because you've got simultaneously you're all writing your orders, you're revealing them at the same time, and then you're going off the orders and depending on some timing issues and how you bid for turn order. It's so much fun. It's again, this is an all-day game. It's like Twilight Imperium. It's a long game.
It's a long game,
but it is so much fun and it is intense and it is just a ball. Every time I played it, I've had so much fun.
There is no way a version of this game could put you more into this, the war room of war than the actual war than the war room.
Oh, absolutely. War Room is phenomenal. Again, we're out of time, so I'm not going to elaborate too much on it now. But suffice it to say, check out my review for War Room. I've talked about it a few times since. You really need to hopefully play this game at some point. Not a cheap game. They're doing I think another Kickstarter reprint for it this summer, so there'll be an opportunity because it is out of print. They'll have more opportunities to buy it. I gotta tell you, I can't recommend this game enough. For me, this is the game. If anybody said, Cody, we got a day free, what do you want to play? I think this is the one more often than not I'm going to pick because it's just so much fun. All right, well, that is our top 100 games, my top 100 games of all time. Zach joined us for the top 40. And I keep saying next year we got to get him to do his 100. So
we'll work on it.
So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you once again for joining us. Let us know what you think. What are your favorite games of all time? What do you think about ours? Do you like them? Do you not like them? Why or why not? Keep it civil. But I'm always excited to hear what people have to say and maybe come up with other games I haven't heard of before. I think that's a lot of fun. So please, I'd ask you to go ahead and like us on Facebook, subscribe to us on YouTube, follow us on Twitter, all of that good stuff. And also, too, if you like World War II military history, please leave a comment for us at, or rather, please go check out Cody Carlson, PhD, my other channel. I'll leave a link there. But once again, I would just like to take a minute to say thank you to Mythos Games here in South Jordan, Utah, who's let us film these videos here. We really appreciate that. All right, well, ladies and gentlemen, now is the time to find out who won our contest. But first of all, let's go ahead and ask Sean. Sean, what is your favorite food?
I love pizza.
Well, that's awesome. That's awesome. And now for the winner, let's go ahead and Zach, I believe you have a very special prize.
I do.
We have his own personal thumbs up.
Please somebody help me on my feet again. And I don't know where I'm going, and I don't know where I've been. Please somebody help me on the solid ground. It's a long time, and I've been dying. Once a year I wind up in the band. God knows that I love to fight, but I don't ever win. It's a fine line to damnation, but God let me in.
Hello? Am I on now? Can I go? All right, thank you. Hello, Evil Cody here. Cody said that I could share my top 10 list now at this part of the program. So I'll go ahead, shall I? Very good. Number 10, Uncivil War, the divorce lawyer game. Number 9, Root, Canal, Dentist Wars. Number 8, Tom Vazel's Ego. It's the largest board game ever created. Yeah, I'm sorry, Mr. Vazel. Number 7, The Dutch. It's about how Dutch people live and work. It's nothing terribly exciting. Number 6, Household Artillery Projectiles and Other Fun Things You Can Do with Pets. Number 5, the DC Comics deck building game, the Zack Snyder cut. Number 4, Santa Claus. Your Eyes Out. Number 3, Lords of Water Shallow. Number 2, Time Distortions. Captain One-Eyed Peterson and the Legends of the Falkland War in 3 acts. Part 1, The Ugly Chambermaid in a Closet of Mystery. An alien deck building game. And finally, number 1, Small World. That's my list.